Hello everyone.
This week we're talking about sleep and immunity.
They can't really be separated, they're one and the same thing, one feeds into the other.
You can't have bad sleep and a good immune system, and you can't have the other way around. They are so linked. So getting good quality sleep is critical to having a good, healthy immune system.
So what does your body actually do when it's asleep?
Sleep is when your body's repairing itself. So it's restoring things, it's cleaning up any damage, it's doing like brain cleanups, it's reorganizing your entire immune system. So it's really, really critical that you get a good amount of sleep and, like we said, quality sleep as well.
So if you don't get enough sleep, which is anything under 8 hours, the effects of that ripple through your immune system for the whole of the next day.
Yeah, we're definitely guilty of not getting enough sleep. I think we've been running on the last couple of weeks on about 6.5 to 7.
Yeah, it's not enough. I waking up tired because we are extremely active people. And what it does, basically, you wake up in the morning absolutely knackered, and then you're smashing down the coffee, and it takes an hour and a half to get us back on fighting form.
Yeah.
Whereas if we'd have managed to get, let's say, 8.5 to 9 hours sleep, you'd probably just wake up fine.
Yeah, that's the level of sleep that athletes, or I would say anybody who's got any illnesses, chronic conditions, or just going through a bit of an intense period in your life, you want 8 hours minimum, like 8 to 10, really, so your body can really do that deep work that it needs to do.
If you're an extremely busy person, taking 10 hours out of your 24 hours only leaves you 14 hours to do all that stuff, and sometimes that's just very, very difficult, but we have to try our best.
Yeah. So we're just going to start by talking about what sleep is in terms of what actually happens in your body while you're sleeping and how important it is, just to explain all these functions and how important that is to really make sure you're getting enough sleep. And then towards the end, we're going to actually talk about how you can improve your sleep if you are struggling, good things like sleep hygiene and maybe some supplements you could try to help you, and also some things to avoid. So yeah, let's get into what sleep is, what's happening in your body while you're sleeping.
What actually happens when you're in deep sleep? So the first thing that's going to happen is your immune signalling kicks in. The body releases cytokines, which are immune messengers, and they coordinate defense and repair.
While you're sleeping, your brain is also doing its own cleanup job. So the glymphatic system, which is like your brain's lymphatic system, starts clearing out waste, like amyloid plaques, and that's the things that are linked to Alzheimer's. So getting good sleep is literally helping your brain to just clear out things that don't need to be there, waste.
So another really important part of the immune system are your T cells, which are immune little fighters, and your NK cells, which are natural killer cells. What happens when you sleep is your T cells are most active when you're asleep. So they're the ones that are going around your immune system looking for invaders and fighting them off. And one night of poor sleep, so by that I mean about 4 hours sleep, can reduce your NK natural killer cell activity by up to 70%.
That's crazy, just one night. Imagine that.
Yep.
Chronically, and we know there are people, who come to us for things like reishi to help them relax and sleep better, and they're just chronically not getting enough stress, and you know then as well that it's an immune system issue that they're looking at as well.
Yep.
What happens then when you're sleeping is your body's regulating itself. So your nervous system's regulating itself, the immune system, your brain, all of these functions, they're regulating themselves. So when you're getting bad sleep over and over and over again, your systems in your body end up dysregulated.
One of the most important chemicals in the body that's related to what we're talking about today is melatonin. That's your sleep hormone, isn't it?
No, not quite. Melatonin is your body's natural timing hormone. So it's the hormone that kicks in when the sun has set, when you've finished eating for the day. So it's based on light, food, and also your nervous system. When your body feels relaxed and it stops digesting food, and the lights, like naturally it would be the sun. When the sun is set, your melatonin naturally comes in and says, right, it's time to relax, it's time to sleep and switch off.
So can you use it as a sedative?
It doesn't really have a sedative effect, but it's a natural thing that your body produces, it only in quite a small amount, and it just helps you to switch state from the day into the evening.
Basically, what's happening in the modern pharmacological culture is we're massively over-prescribing melatonin for use as like a sleeping pill
Yeah.
or a sedative of some kind, and it doesn't do that. That's not what it's for.
Yeah, it's actually having a more harmful effect, I would say. So your body naturally releases melatonin from your pineal gland between 0.1 and 0.3 milligrams per night. That's natural. What the supplement industry is doing, or I don't think doctors are prescribing it, I think it's a supplement, you can just buy melatonin supplements.
Yeah.
They're anywhere from 3 milligrams to 20 milligrams. So 0.3 is the maximum your body will produce. 20 milligrams is far too much. And
60 times the amount.
Yeah, good on the maths.
Thank you.
But what's happening then is you take these pills, and if they do help, great. But what happens then when you come off them? It's like your body has this withdrawal effect because it's not used to such a high amount of melatonin. It's completely unnatural.
Also, it burns out your melatonin receptors.
Yes, so over time then you can't create it, you can't keep up. Yeah, crazy.
Problems. So I suppose a small admission on my part is that I've spent a large portion of my life eating immediately before I go to sleep, usually because it's the only time that I have to eat, and then I go to bed. So what might be bad about that?
So melatonin is helping to lower your insulin levels right before you go to bed. So it's helping to balance everything, blood sugars, insulin. So if you then eat late at night, like after the sun is set, basically as a general rule, then that's going to spike, bring up your insulin levels. So the two things are just working in opposition. Eating food lifts your insulin levels, which is fine for energy during the day, but melatonin is trying to bring it down to help you relax. Melatonin also affects all of your other hormones, so it's going to affect your cortisol levels, your thyroid function, sex hormones.
If it's affecting your sex hormones, there's a high possibility it could be affecting your libido as well. And melatonin is an antioxidant, and it works inside the mitochondria in your cells to neutralise free radicals.
Yeah, it's pretty important stuff really, isn't it? Something that we hadn't really dived so deep into, but doing our research, it's like, wow, that's really important.
It's one of the body's master hormones.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's not working properly, you got big problems.
Yeah. Yep. So it's no surprise really that melatonin, like a lot of other things like your collagen, they all decline naturally as we age. So it's very important to make sure that we're getting enough of it in the right amounts.
Is there anything that makes it decline quicker?
So, well, in terms of good sleep hygiene, and this is going to directly affect melatonin, it's screens, stress, just light exposure in general. So naturally when the sun goes down, obviously it varies with the seasons, but once the sun has gone down, you should really only be exposing yourself to orange or red light. So we've replaced some of our light bulbs with orange bulbs. They're not much money, like a few quid. It does make your house a bit weird during the day when you want a light and it's orange, but
It's like Amsterdam.
it's so much better. We'll sit and read under an orange light at night. It's enough light to let you do what you still want to do if you're up past sunset, which in the modern world most of us are, but it's not affecting your melatonin, it's not affecting your nervous system, it's allowing your body to still rest and go, okay, I'm switching now from the day and this white, blue light into an orange, the sun's setting kind of mode.
You really want to get away from those screens, the phones, the fluorescent lights in the kitchen, you know,
basically there's the screens at night time as well, where unless you've got something on there that's filtering the light on it, which you can get, but the other problem with that is then what's it doing to your nervous system? What are you doing on the phone at night? Are you working? Are you checking emails? Are you scrolling? It just basically shouldn't be part of your evening routine.
Nope.
I know we're all on screens right now and it's bedtime, but yeah, not a lot you can do about that sometimes.
No, but you want to try and limit it as much as you physically can. We don't all have to be like perfect monk-like beings, but if you can limit your exposure to these things, you're going to be doing yourself a favour.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also getting into your long-term health and linking it to your immune system, because without getting that good quality sleep, without thinking about your evening routine, it's throwing your whole system off if you're then just thinking, oh, I hope for the best with my sleep tonight. Just literally put your phone down, go to sleep. Most of us do try our best. And like you said, you can't always be perfect, but it's going to affect a lot of systems in your body long term.
Because your body naturally wants to fight all these nasties that are going on in your body. It's designed to do that. But if you mess up your sleep cycles, then you're throwing a spanner in the works of all of those mechanisms that are supposed to be cleaning out your brain, cleaning out your lymphatic system.
Yeah, literally all the systems in your body.
So that's why it's important to sleep good.
Yep.
So melatonin is mostly made in the brain, right?
Well, that's what we thought, pineal gland, but actually most of the melatonin is produced in your gut. And apparently, I think it's 400 times more melatonin is produced in your gut. So
That's a lot.
yeah, that's not the melatonin that helps you to sleep, but that's the stuff that helps you with your digestion, with your inflammation. Yeah, we love talking about gut health. Since we've been on this journey with our own gut health, you unravel all these layers and realise it is the foundation for the rest of your health. You kind of can't ignore it.
What I find always really interesting, should we go that way?
Yeah,
let's
it's very
go that
grassy
way.
this way, but yeah.
That's all right, cool. So what I find really interesting is how little it takes to knock your gut balance off. It's like, I remember being in a really bad state of gut health, and I used to think I was like iron guts. Nothing could faze me.
Yeah.
And actually, that was just because I was suffering from an enormous amount of chronic inflammation, and it was basically as bad as it could get all the time.
Well, when you get to that point, I think same with me in a different way. You have so much inflammation that you just keep tolerating. And when you actually decide to go, okay, let's just change a couple of things. And then you open the can of worms and you're like, wow, there's a lot going on here, a lot of things I can change, a lot of work I need to do. And it's a long-term thing because you've been eating kind of the wrong things and not supporting your gut in the way you need to for like decades.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
Okay, here are a few things that can really disrupt your gut melatonin production.
Yes, so alcohol, lots of stress, so like ongoing stress, highly processed foods. What else have we got?
Antibiotics.
Yes, antacids even.
Yep.
So there are natural ways that you can improve the acidity of your gut, but taking an antacid, same as taking the melatonin supplement, actually sometimes causes more problems than it helps.
Antacids are really quite stupid, and I say that because generally the problem with your stomach acid, if you ever have a problem with it, is it's not acidic enough. Now what you can do about that without taking an antacid is to have a shot of vinegar.
Yeah, it's a really quite an old practice that I think people used to do, and it's getting a bit more popular now, but it's really amazing, helping stabilise your blood sugars. We both started doing that in the morning. First thing, glass of water with a tablespoon of vinegar in it, and that's it.
It's just something that you need to be aware of when you're going through your day, is how is what I'm eating or drinking affecting my stomach contents?
Yes.
Because if you want to digest loads of food, you don't want to have loads of liquid in there that's diluting or raising the pH of your stomach acid, because then your stomach can't do its job, which is to dissolve food in acid. So that's why having a shot of apple cider vinegar before a meal or after a meal can just give you that little boost that you need sometimes.
Yes, and we're saying this not as experts, but as people that felt pretty stupid a couple of weeks ago, making that exact mistake. I was drinking probably 2 litres of various drinks and then eating my breakfast and going, oh, why is my stomach so indigestion-y? And then you're like, oh yeah, because my stomach's basically got, the pH is way too high, too much liquid. Really silly, but you think, I've got to get hydrated, I've got to do all these things, and you just so easily make a mistake sometimes.
The thing is, we say it's silly now, looking back, but if we said to you, okay, so the first thing we did was have a cup of tea, then you had a glass of water, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then we had a cup of coffee, that's all right. Then we go, right, we're going to the gym, so we'll make a smoothie.
Yeah. Great.
But that's normal stuff that normal people do. But you were probably drinking 2 litres of water.
Yeah, in total it was probably 2 litres before about 11 o'clock in the morning.
So when you wake up, you've only got 150 to 250 ml of gastric juices in your stomach. So it doesn't take much to dilute that. So if you then have 2 litres of water over 4 or 5 hours in the morning before you eat food, of course that's going to give you indigestion.
Yeah, it makes sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah, beauty of hindsight.
Yep.
We're going to round off the melatonin section here basically by saying
You don't really need melatonin supplements. So if you absolutely have to use them, from what we've looked into about melatonin, take a very short-term dose and no more than 0.3, because that is the maximum that your body would naturally be producing. So if you overstimulate it, then you're going to have problems coming off of it. You're going to actually affect your body's receptors for melatonin, and you don't want to do that, really.
I'd be very hesitant to recommend anybody taking a melatonin supplement.
Yeah,
And I think really what you need is a functional routine that supports your body's natural melatonin production.
Yeah, giving it them natural signals, like, okay, the sun's set now. Even if it's, say, winter time and the sun sets quite early, you get orange bulbs in your house. So when the sun's gone down, you've still got those few hours where you can be doing things with the light, but it's not stressing your system. So yeah, the melatonin signals are getting activated. The screens, I think screens are a massive contributor to nervous system dysregulation, which I'm having a bit of a journey with at the minute. And that goes for everything: TVs, laptops, phones, all of it, all tech, basically.
I think they're as disruptive as caffeine,
Yeah.
in all honesty. Like, some people can tolerate a lot of caffeine, like me. Some people can tolerate barely any caffeine, like you.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly the same with screens.
Yeah,
Now-
I'm kind of the same with screens. If I'm on my phone until 15 minutes, half an hour before I'm going to go to sleep, I can literally feel the tension in my shoulders. I feel it sometimes when I'm doing work on my phone, and I just feel it pulling me out of the calm state I was in. So yeah, it takes a lot of discipline, really, to be able to put it down and notice when you've gone out of being regulated and go, oh, this is actually stressing me out now, I need to take a break. But especially important at night time for sleep.
So let's just round it off by saying that melatonin is the most important signalling hormone for sleep, and that's what we're talking about today, is sleep. So anything that you can do to support the body's natural melatonin systems is going to be beneficial, and we don't want to be chucking artificial melatonin in there at ridiculously high rates.
Yes. Yeah, so let's move on to something that we do advocate for. My favourite mushroom in the world, reishi. So we have about 30 minutes to an hour before we go to bed, a reishi tincture that we make. We didn't even know about reishi until we started making the tincture ourselves, and we actually noticed how good it was at sleep because we took it and had an amazing night's sleep. So that was a couple of years ago. Now we take it most of the time. There aren't any long-term issues with taking reishi.
There's actually a lot of positive benefits from taking reishi long term.
Yeah. It's used a lot in traditional Chinese medicine in Japan and China. They absolutely love reishi. It's like the mushroom of immortality. It's a beautiful mushroom.
Reishi is not a sedative. It doesn't help you sleep by knocking you out. It helps you sleep by signalling to the body that it is safe to sleep.
Yes, it's regulating your nervous system. Yeah.
Because if your body is in sympathetic nervous system rather than parasympathetic, you're not going to be able to sleep, because in your mind, in your deep mind, you're basically telling your body there's a saber-toothed tiger around the corner, I can't sleep or I'm going to die. Okay, so a little known fact about reishi is it actually boosts your body's melatonin production.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Not artificially, like adding extra melatonin in. It gently supports your body to produce its own, which is what you want to be encouraging, especially for long-term well-being. You want your body's natural systems to just come back into their natural flow. So the melatonin, your parasympathetic nervous system at night time, which is just relaxing, switching off. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But it is quite a complex thing in modern life. There's constantly so many things that take us the other way, into the stress, the fight or flight.
Well, it's a well-known fact that people buy things when they're in their sympathetic nervous system. So it doesn't matter whether you're watching the TV, you're scrolling on Facebook, you're on Instagram, everything is designed to keep you in that sympathetic nervous system so that you will buy more stuff. It's really that simple. So
Yeah.
the easiest option is to turn off the screens. I know it's 2025, you can't say that. Yeah, you can. Just turn them off.
Yeah, at a certain time, it's, again, like I said earlier, it comes back to discipline. Yeah, I'm going to go into that. I was going to say sometimes I have a tech-free day, but I haven't done one for so long. I'm addicted.
Wow. Look at it out here.
Yeah, it's lovely,
I'm
isn't
going
it?
to spin this round, look. For those of you just listening, we're in between two corridors of trees, obviously man-made. The sun's just come out. Absolutely stunning. It's really regulating my parasympathetic nervous system right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking, anyone who's watching this at night time,
Yeah.
like, no, the sunlight.
Isn't it interesting how sleep and immunity are just so deeply linked in with each other?
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't have thought that your sleep would have been such a big key player in your immune system. You know, I know sleep is important, but I wouldn't have put so much weight on that being important if you're dealing with immune system issues. Yeah, so it's...
Well, I think
it's...
there's a common misconception that all your immune system does is fight off baddies that are trying to get you.
Yeah.
And that's not what it does at all. Your immune system is all about balancing all of the neurochemical interactions that are happening in your body all the time.
Yes.
So when you consider that that's what the immune system does, it makes more sense that, yes, of course, that is basically happening while you're asleep. Mm-hmm. So the better the sleep quality, the better the quality of your immune system.
Yeah, and it does make so much sense. When you're awake, you're doing so many things. You're thinking about things all the time. You're moving your body, you're exercising, you're working, you've got kids, you've got work, you've got home life, all these different things to juggle. It's like your body doesn't have time to be then fighting or relaxing the immune system and dealing with your parasympathetic nervous system. Unless you have time to go to a yoga class or get your meditation sessions in everyday life, it's difficult. So that's where sleep is the next best thing, really.
Well, like you just said a minute ago, if we spend most of our time when we're awake in the sympathetic nervous system, the largest block of time when you're going to spend in the parasympathetic nervous system is actually when you're asleep.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So you need your body to be able to get into that state and recognise it, because we do spend, I would say the majority of the population now spend the majority of their time in the sympathetic nervous system and not enough time in the parasympathetic. So it feels alien then to get to the end of the day and go, how do I relax now? You know, how do I switch off? Because we've got so far away from that natural cycle.
And even I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
So in the mushroom world, reishi is equated with a sleep mushroom, even though we've just talked about how it's really not a sleep mushroom and it's
supporting your natural systems, isn't it?
Yeah. So what would be a good immune system mushroom?
It's got to be turkey tail. Yeah, one of the most well-studied medicinal mushrooms in the world, and it works with your gut health as well as your immune system. So it's amazing for supporting gut health, prebiotic fibres, which then feed your probiotics. And yeah, it's incredible for telling your immune system when to fight something, and also really importantly, when not to fight something, because when your system's always in fight mode, that's how you get exhaustion, that's how you get autoimmune conditions, because your immune system is targeting everything. Well, that's chronic inflammation comes before the autoimmune condition. So you've got this inflammation and your body's just fighting it. And then that turns into what would be diagnosed as an autoimmune condition, because your system's just attacking what looks like itself, but it's actually just basically misfiring, because it's just firing at everything, thinking it's a threat.
A lot of that comes from just modern life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The food that
Stress.
you eat, the water you drink, the stress, the light.
Yes.
Yeah, all of those fun things just equate to a very overactive immune system that's always switched on. And when it's always switched on, you need something to tell it to switch off.
Yeah, so turkey tail helps, again, not to come in with some artificial switch off the immune system kind of signal. It just helps your body naturally go, this is where you need to switch on, this is where you need to switch off. So combining that with reishi, that does the same for your nervous system and says, hey, this is when you need to switch into your parasympathetic, you can relax now. It's not an instant thing, it's not a quick fix, but I look at mushrooms as like teachers, that they over time help your body get back into its natural rhythms and just get everything working properly.
If you're wired, you're weak. What does that mean? It means if your immune system is constantly stuck in sympathetic mode, then that is called sympathetic dominance. Basically what that means is your body prioritises survival mode over deep healing mode.
Yes.
So it turns off all of your deep healing systems and prioritises only survival.
Yeah, it's like your brain is saying to your body, we're under threat. We don't have time to heal this bit of inflammation in your gut or your joint pain or focus on sleep. We don't even need sleep. No, we need to survive.
We don't even have time to properly digest this food that we just ate.
Yeah, so that's indigestion, and then it leads to a whole host of other gut issues, doesn't it?
Yeah, so sympathetic dominance leads to one of two states, basically. You have a sluggish immune system, which means that you miss threats. So any kind of invaders, any bacterial issues, your body's going to miss those. The other side of it is chaotic immune system, and that is chronic inflammation and autoimmune conditions. So in a roundabout way, we're saying that having poor sleep leads to a poor immune system, and having a poor immune system leads to chronic inflammation, illnesses, and autoimmune conditions.
Yeah, and even, I was going to say about the sympathetic dominance, that could also be an issue with your sleep, like initially. It could also be an issue initially with your gut health, and then this all kind of leads to being in that, locked in that state of sympathetic nervous system and wondering, why do you feel so stressed all the time? Yeah, a lot of people are living in that state, aren't they? You see it on the roads. You only have to drive to our nearest town to go just nip into a shop, and you get almost rammed off the road 3 times, and you think, wow,
And then
you need to learn what your parasympathetic nervous system is. You can just sense that people are very stressed, busy, and it's understandable the reasons why, but it doesn't help us change how we deal with life in general, you know?
no.
So just taking better care of ourselves, making sure we're sleeping good, supporting our immune system wherever we can, and having relaxation practices, because it's not like we're naturally just switching between the two states. Our nervous system does need these cues, which could be all kinds of things like meditation. It could be singing and humming, like that stimulates your vagus nerve. I have to remind myself what these things are pretty regularly. Laying down and putting your legs up the wall, that can also help. I'm not sure quite how that works, but it does. Weighted blankets, carrying heavy things, all little things that you can do if you're feeling like that.
They're all good for switching from sympathetic to parasympathetic.
Yeah.
Because your body's naturally supposed to be able to do that numerous times a day, depending on what's happening.
Yeah.
Like if you're driving anywhere, you are in sympathetic nervous system all the time. That's just a fact. But when you get out of the car, your body and your mind needs to be able to switch into parasympathetic so that you don't go around murdering people all the time, right?
So we've talked about how important sleep is for supporting your immune system, but now if we switch it up and go, how important is your immune system health for helping you sleep?
So you're laying in bed at night, you've gone to bed to try and sleep, and for some reason you can't sleep.
Let's just throw into this that you've made sure you didn't have any caffeine past 12 p.m. You've had your magnesium supplement.
Yep.
You thought, I'm not going to have melatonin because Will and Nicole said it's not a good idea. And then you're laying in bed trying to sleep, yeah?
Yeah, and basically you can't sleep because your immune system is stuck in sympathetic mode because you've got chronic inflammation somewhere in your body that is sending messages to your brain saying something's wrong, something is wrong, something is wrong. And it's expecting you to understand what those messages mean and then do something about it. Unfortunately, we don't speak the language of our sympathetic nervous system. So we have to have conversations like this where we talk about chronic inflammation, the causes of it, and what you can do about it.
It's funny you're talking about understanding the messages, because when you've got inflammation, even a little bit, messages get mixed up in your body. So your immune system, or let's start by saying your gut, will try and break down a piece of food, something that you've eaten your whole life and you're fine with, and it gives you an inflammation response. And you don't know this is going on until maybe a day, 2 days later, or when you're trying to go to sleep, because that message in your system has gone, there's inflammation or there's an invader between the tight junctions in your gut. So something's got through where it shouldn't do. That's caused this whole chain reaction of events that's then led to something just being really, really wrong. And you end up, like I say, having chronic inflammation, which sounds really bad.
Yep.
But it could literally just be that maybe there's something in your system that you're not tolerating very well. It could be gluten.
It will be, 100%.
It will be 100%. If it's gluten, it will be a problem.
Yeah.
We've got a whole thing on gluten if you want to look into that. But it could be dairy, different types of dairy. Like some people here, just as an example, that raw milk's really good for you. So they'll go, I'm going to just have all this raw milk. It's really good for me. But unless you've really looked at inflammation and your gut health and gone deeper into that, you just don't know if these things are actually helping or hindering your health.
No, I mean, if you've got a 100% perfect gut, which, by the way, no one has, then yeah, you might be absolutely fine with raw milk, because essentially the tight junctions in your gut are not going to be letting any nasties through. The whole point about raw milk is that it's got live cultures in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
it's not been homogenised and heat treated.
But you don't want those live cultures getting directly into your bloodstream, because that's going to cause chronic inflammation.
Yeah.
So that's how anything really can get into your gut and then adversely get into your bloodstream, which is going to give you a body-wide inflammation response.
Yeah, there's lots more we could go into on that, like all different foods, that the messages get mixed up, because when there's a bit of inflammation, your body goes, oh no, here's that thing coming in again. And sometimes the molecules in different foods look the same to your gut receptors. It's a minefield. So
it's a whole other video really. But just to say that if you've got inflammation, the chances are 9 times out of 10, it's something that's gone in your mouth or through your skin.
yeah,
Because they're the only ways in. It's through the surface of your skin or through your mouth. That means you've eaten it, you've drank it, maybe you've kissed your dog. Not a great idea. But yeah, it ends up in the gut. Your gut is probably a bit ropey, so whatever it is gets through the gut lining directly into your bloodstream, and that's where you're getting all of your chronic inflammation from. With all of that said, I'm knackered. What can we do about it? What's the route out of this situation?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the important thing to recognise is if you've got an issue with sleep, is to look at the root cause of it, not to just look at a topical thing. And I would say a topical thing would be magnesium, because you've seen a post on Instagram and everyone actually at the moment is saying magnesium is great for helping with sleep. And we do take magnesium, but I don't rely on that to help me with my sleep. It's something I take for helping my nervous system, muscle recovery, loads of things. But yeah, looking at the root cause of it, and it might not be anything to do with your sleep routine. It might not be to do with the 80-pound orange, blue light blocking glasses that someone's trying to sell you. It could be to do with the food you're eating. It could be to do with your lifestyle. And it could be a simple thing you could do, like maybe the orange glasses will help, and switching off your screens an hour or 2 hours before bedtime.
They're not going to help you very much if you really like eating McDonald's 5 times a week.
No, I think people watching this podcast are a bit more in the know about McDonald's.
No, but you understand the point, and it's like we're trained to think that all food is good food because we're being sold that food.
Yeah, it's like you just have to eat, so whatever there is available, you just eat it. But yes, it does take a lot of forward thinking and planning to know what you're doing for the day or the week even, and prepare food, healthy food. We've got a salad in my backpack right now.
There's nowhere to sit and eat it, but we did bring the food with us.
We'll find somewhere.
So getting back to the point, turkey tail. It's really good at helping the immune system decide what to attack and what not to attack, because if your body is attacking everything, that's a problem. That is chronic inflammation.
Yes, and then your body does need to learn, providing that you're not already taking something like an immunosuppressant medication, which is going to be obviously trying to do turkey tail's job to an extent. Turkey tail is going to teach you over time what to be fighting and when to just relax, to let all those cells in your immune system just go, relax, guys.
Yeah.
We're fine. There's nothing here to fight right now. You can switch off.
But this goes back to what we always say when we sell any kind of a mushroom tincture to anybody, is if you're not doing the work on your gut, if you're not looking at the food that's going in your body and the toxins that you're exposing yourself to, the mushrooms are not going to do their job.
No, they're going to be like putting a plaster on. You know, they will do something that they will work 10, 20 times more, just a guess, when you look at the foundation of your diet and the other stuff.
Yeah. We've spoken quite a lot about what's messing you up. What can actually help us then get back on track? What are the main things that we like?
Yeah, so things that you can add, so supplements wise basically, isn't it?
Mushrooms, supplements.
Yeah. So you've got your reishi, which we talked a bit about. Lion's mane also can be helpful. Turkey tail, not directly with the sleep, but by supporting the immunity.
Yep.
Magnesium glycinate.
And glycine.
And glycine, yeah, so
Yep.
that's a separate thing. And darkness, so making sure that at night you actually do have a dark space.
It's so prevalent that people now sleep with the lights on, sleep with the screen on. Yeah, that's totally alien for your body.
It's just completely ruining your melatonin production.
Yeah.
That signal is never getting sent to your pineal gland that says, the sun's gone now, we can sleep.
Yeah. And
it's-
the other
yeah.
one is vinegar.
Yes, yeah, like actually at night time.
Yeah, and bitters. So
Yeah.
So they're the kind of the big 6 or 7 things that we use. We're coming to the end of our walk now, and we're also coming to the end of this little excursion that we're having here into sleep and immunity. So we're going to give you a very simple routine that you can all enact in your day should you want to, for better sleep and better immunity. So in the morning, Nicole, what do we do?
So in the morning we have our warm water with vinegar. So that stimulates your digestion, it kind of wakes up your gut. And then we go outside, try and get some sunlight. Or if there is no sun out, just get outside. Natural light is the key.
Yep.
And then we have a coffee. I'll have a decaf with lion's mane and turkey tail. So they both indirectly help with the melatonin production, with your gut health.
Yeah, so when you've done all that, you wait about, what, 20 minutes after your coffee, and then it's time for your breakfast.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm doing in the day, but I normally wait at least half an hour and then I'll eat.
Yeah, because you've primed your stomach for food.
Yep.
Cool, so that's the start of the day done.
So the evening routine starts then once you've finished your dinner. So once you've finished eating your main meal, your dinner, you want to stop eating after that. So ideally that would be about 7 p.m. And then that's it. That tells your system we've done eating, we're digesting it. That's it.
Brilliant, so just before you go to bed, what's the stack that we have before we go to bed?
So we're taking magnesium glycinate, and so that's capsule form, and then reishi tincture in a herbal tea about half an hour before bed. You can have it up to an hour before you go to sleep.
And that's just helping to signal to your immune system and your central nervous system that it's time to go to bed, and that's it.
Yeah, you know, the 3 things that you can do: stop eating at 7 p.m, have a shot of vinegar before you go to bed,
Yes.
get your morning sunlight, you know, get outside first thing if you can, or it's really optimum, not through a window, just actually physically get outside if you can do.
Wrapping it up, bringing it all together. Doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need loads and loads of different supplements.
Yeah, and it's just been amazing for us to delve a bit deeper into this as well, about the link between your sleep and your immunity. I think it's really fascinating.
Yep.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions or comments, let us know.
Yeah, the future us's are still sitting in the nook, ready to take your questions right now. So, hello.